Hi and welcome to the Results-Based Training Podcast. My name's Bo Williams. I run small group training facilities for both men and women, circa 35 to 40 plus, in and around the South Manchester area. We've started this podcast with the view to getting on some of our clients as guests so we can interview them and understand how health, fitness, lifting weights has become a part of their life and benefited them. In today's episode, we've got a guest on called Marie, who actually first started with TBT Fitness just over 8 years ago, having never really been able to get into a gym environment and feel confident. She has been on an incredible journey, certainly over the last couple of years, which have been quite tough. And she talks about how the gym has helped her through some of the toughest battles in her life. And she talks about how and where that has benefited her. So without further ado, let's get started. Marie, welcome to the RBT/TBT podcast. We have set this podcast up because we want to make relatable content for anybody interested who might want to start the gym, start healthy routines, eat better, take care of themselves, fight aging, whatever, right? We're looking for reasons for them to get started. And I thought interviewing you guys as clients, getting you on, and you sharing your story and how it looks for you. Because I think there's this whole, we see things online and we think it's perfect. We think everyone's got it easy, or they're a natural gym goer, they're a gym bunny, etc. And I just want it to be real, basically. So welcome. Thanks for coming. Thanks for giving us your time. When did you first start training with TBT?
Oh my gosh. 8 years ago?
Yeah.
A long time.
Man.
I know.
God.
It's mad.
Have I given you a key yet? I think you should
I think I need one.
I think you should get a key at 8 years, mate. Yeah, wow. Okay, incredible. Okay, cool. And then just like in terms of a bit of background, training generally, I guess let's look at from maybe school up through, you know, what did you think of like the gym, exercise?
I never did anything. So at school, I was always the last to be chosen. I was never a fit, active person, always shied away from it. So I've never really done gyms. As an adult then, I thought that I need to really do something, and then signed up to like the likes of Pure Gym, and I've been to Total Fitness, but I'd literally do two, get terrified, think everybody's looking at me, be really, really paranoid, just really self-conscious, and then I'd just bin it off. Okay. So, and then I try and do things at home on my own, and you just do a couple of sessions. You don't really push yourself. So then I saw a video of TBT online. I thought that looks like great fun. Joined and then not looked back. So,
yeah, nice. Okay. So like in terms of school, because we were discussing this, we recorded a podcast earlier and we were chatting about how you're very pigeonholed into certain sports or types of like fitness, right, at school. Yeah. A bit like school in general, potentially. But, you know, I remember the things that were available, that like they weren't for me. They weren't the kind of sports that I enjoyed. So it kind of left me feeling like maybe it wasn't for me. Maybe I was just, because I was always into music and drama, and I was in a band, and so I felt like I was that person.
Not the sporty one.
Yeah, because of school though, I think. Yeah. And I think a lot of people go through that rather. So, you know, and we'll break all this down, but having been a member of the gym now for so long, or been really active yourself for so long, do you feel like school maybe left you feeling a bit like that? Like that it wasn't for you?
It did. Yeah, absolutely. It did. It just wasn't for me. I mean, I did a little bit of netball maybe, but other than that, it just...
Did it feel quite negative, do you think? Or?
Yeah, because I've always been, looking back now, I wasn't even that really overweight, but I've always been like kind of really self-conscious, even from a really young age. So I just, maybe that stopped me and kind of stopped me pushing myself. Yeah, it's a natural thing, isn't it? I mean, my daughter's 11 now, Phoebe. Yeah. Because obviously she would have been real young when you started the gym, right? Yeah, absolutely.
She used to sleep on the mats next door
she did,
when she was having her naps in the day. Mad. But it's crazy to witness how, obviously, as she's approaching certain ages, she's becoming really more self-conscious.
Yeah,
and it's
at
mad,
that age.
Right?
Yeah, my daughter's 12, so wait till she starts high school.
Oh, yeah, I'm feeling a bit thingy about it at the moment. A difficult one, really. But so I guess my point is that it naturally happens, I think, anyway, right? As certainly with girls. I mean, boys as well, I think. But certainly as girls, they start to hit that age where they're becoming a little bit more aware of everything else around
just
them.
really, really self-conscious, really paranoid. And my 12-year-old at the moment, she's actually really different to me. She's actually unbelievable unbelievably sporty, which I don't even know where that's come from. So.
But she's watched Mum though, hasn't she?
There we go, a positive influence, definitely.
Really positive influence. Yeah, I think that's true. Yeah. I think Phoebe's probably not quite there. Because her dad talks about it too much. Maybe that's what it is.
Gone the other way.
Yeah, maybe. But I think hopefully it'll come full circle. Okay, cool. So you tried a few like commercial gyms and so on. What was that like? Signing up to these places, walking in?
It was just, I used to go with great enthusiasm. I used to live kind of years ago where Total Fitness is. I lived on Denmark Street. There was flats there. So I thought, great, I can go every day after work. I just didn't fit in. So I'd literally I think I did about 3 sessions, paid for the year.
Okay,
and I just didn't go. Just didn't have a clue what I was doing. Too self-conscious to ask. I didn't want to look like the idiot that didn't know what they were doing. And I just packed it in.
What would have been your go-to stuff in those few sessions? Were you like cardio
just
equipment?
The cardio. I was too scared to go near the equipment because I didn't know how to use it. I didn't really have an induction. I just didn't know what I was doing. So just gave up.
Yeah, no, reasonable. I think totally reasonable. I think, again, discussed this before, but commercial gyms, I think they almost hinder a little bit because if that's our first experience of it as well, for the right person, I can understand why that would then put them off wanting to try it again.
It's just a big space. A lot of people, there's like the meatheads at the back grunting, and it just was not for me.
Not for you. Okay, cool. Okay, and so then that's like your start and mindset and thought process around training and stuff like that. Tell us a little bit about you, Marie. What does your week look like? What commitments do you have on?
So I'm married, I've got 2 young children. I'm self-employed, which is really, really good now. I'm a mortgage broker, so I kind of work as and when I need to do. I also started walking dogs as well, just to kind of get me out, kind of doing the extra steps. So I can kind of be really flexible as to when I can come to the gym. So I might do mornings, might do evenings, sometimes do the odd lunchtime. So I can be really flexible now. It's much better than the 9 to 5 than trying to fit in the gym. You always have excuses then, but it's working out better now, definitely.
Good. And like the self-employed element, is that stressful?
Yeah, it is. Yes, absolutely.
Takes one to know one, mate.
It certainly is. Oh my gosh.
Talk to me about that. What's that like? Because that was a big step, right? Going self-employed.
It was a big step. So kind of coming up to, a long time in the mortgage industry. I always worked in admin. Then I was qualified as a mortgage advisor for 5 years, and then just had enough of the daily 9 to 5 sat at a desk. So took the leap, self-employed, and not look back. I mean, it's a tough ride. It took a long time to kind of settle.
So how long have you been doing it for now?
3 years, just 3 years.
I feel like it's flown.
Yes. Yes and no. It's a tough going. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So like in terms of the confidence to take that step, then where did that come from?
It started kind of COVID. So I got furloughed, then was working from home, and just the working from home, being with the kids, being able to do all school runs and things.
Bit more freedom.
After that, I thought, God, I'd love to go self-employed. And then I just absolutely love it now. Just me and the dog from home. Amazing. Yeah.
And so let's just talk about this from one self-employed person to another, because we're going to do a quick plug here, Marie, even though we've not discussed it. How can somebody find you if they want help with their mortgage? Certainly if they're a TBT or an RBT member.
Yes, most definitely. Well, I think everybody knows who I am at the minute. Every time I mention mortgages, they're like, oh, so you're Mortgage Marie.
Yeah, Mortgage Marie, okay.
So
where would
Marie
they come
Campbell.
to find you, though, if they don't know who you are?
So just Google Marie Campbell Mortgage Advice Bureau.
Super,
there we go.
Because they're going to get
You'll
taken
find
care
me.
of.
Yes, absolutely.
I know you get some really great feedback. So we've got to share that now.
Yes, absolutely.
That's good. Okay, cool. All right, wicked. You've had a tough couple of years, mate.
Yes, I certainly have. Oh, my word.
Yeah.
So I went self-employed in May 22 and then diagnosed with breast cancer in October 22. Yeah, tough.
Yeah,
definitely
very difficult.
tough.
How did you find out? What was the...
It was actually, I was doing a mortgage for a client, and she had a cancer diagnosis, and it was just a story that just sat in my head for so long. She had children. I'm like, oh my gosh, that must be shocking. Never really checked myself. It just pushed me to check myself and found something. So, wow. So if it wasn't for her, I'm eternally grateful. Yeah. Scary.
Yeah, really scary, mate. Really scary. So you found, and then so what happened? Like what happened then? What was the next steps?
I was literally at the GP the next day. 2 weeks of waiting, which was just hell. So you get referred to the specialist centre at Wythenshawe for 2 weeks wait. And yeah, I had a whole 2 years of health, surgeries, chemo, radiotherapy, a further diagnosis at my 1 year checkup. So yeah, been tough.
Different part, different place.
Just more cancer in the tissue. So yeah, just a further surgery and then reconstruction, and
really
difficult. It's been tough.
Yeah, really difficult. So, and then all at the same time as going self-employed.
Yes. So I had to work throughout. I was submitting mortgage applications from the Christie's. Working the day after chemo, I don't know.
The side people don't see, mate.
I don't know how I managed to respond to emails.
Wow.
It just, But then on another side of it, I've known people that have been employed and just been kind of on the sick. Yes, they've got the financial, they're kind of getting paid. But then people I've heard that kind of not leaving the house, kind of really kind of sinking down low. So kind of me having to work really kind of kept me distracted, and I had to work to pay my own bills, my own mortgage. So.
Yeah, and also like almost giving you that reason, right? That must.
And I've got to keep going. I've got to get out of bed in the morning. I mean, good job I had the kids, because you'd love to stay in bed, but you've got to get up, put a big smile on your face and pretend everything's okay.
So difficult, mate.
Very tough.
So difficult. Did you train? Have you trained throughout this time?
Yes, throughout everything, yeah. So other than the times where my surgeon said absolutely not for the kind of few weeks after surgeries, yes, throughout my chemotherapy, throughout everything, I've still been training. Yeah.
And how's that been?
Yes, it was tough. I just had to just listen to my body and do what I could. But it's just kept me going. I can't imagine going through what I've been through without the gym. Like, I'd go into the gym some mornings, just absolutely, my head's going to fall off. You come out a different person. So yeah, it's definitely kept me going.
I mean, I hear that, right? But then I think there's varying degrees to what people are going through, and then to hear it from you in that context, I think is really powerful. Because again, like context, someone has a bad day at work, or someone's got a stress going on at home or something. It's like 1,000,000% more, right? So, but you still found something from it.
The day after chemo, I'd be here. I mean, it wasn't pretty with my big bald head.
But good on you though, right? Absolutely.
Oh gosh, but it just kept me going. It was a distraction. My kind of attitude was I just wanted to be as normal as possible. So coming to the gym, working, doing things with the kids, I just wanted that normality. So it gave me that. So
a structure almost.
Yes, it did.
Yeah. Wow.
And now I'm kind of more, I've had a bigger health kick than normal, because the chance of a reoccurrence is 25% less if you exercise regularly. So I need to do everything I can to kind of make sure it doesn't come back. And keeping exercising is obviously a biggie.
Do you think the reasons perhaps as to why you joined us back 8 years ago would be totally different to why you continue to come now?
Yeah, massively. Yeah, because why I joined is I just wanted to lose weight. I was just fed up of being the fat girl, and I just wanted to lose weight, and that was my main thing. I was also struggling to have children, have my second, and that was one of the reasons that I joined as well. But now, come to the gym, it's less about losing weight, because I still could do to lose weight, but it's more about the kind of mental health side of it. Kind of keep my head screwed on, helps me sleep better, makes me more energized. And then my mum was like, kind of, you're doing too much. I'm like, but if I didn't come to the gym, I wouldn't. It's doing that kind of keeps me going. So
yeah, there's a little bit of that kind of. I don't want to say generational understanding, but I think, again, we mentioned this on a podcast before. I think if you're not in it, receiving the benefits from the gym and feeling like it's hard to sometimes wonder why we come to the gym so much, right?
That's it. I think a lot of people think it's like a vanity thing. Oh, are you going to the gym?
Or because
you want to look a certain way, you want this, and it's really, really not. It's more just to keep my head screwed on.
Yeah, man.
Definitely.
I think that's so huge. Yeah. Wow. Okay. So just going to go back a tiny bit then. So in terms of why you initially joined the gym, what was your approach? What did you do? How did what we do perhaps help you? like, did you achieve those results in terms of the weight loss, or did you just get to change your mindset about the whole of it, or like kind of what did it look like?
Yeah, so I started because it was just after New Year, and I was just feeling, in fact, it was New Year's Day, and I was feeling just fat and fed up and a bit hungover. I was like, right, okay, New Year's resolution, I'm starting the gym. I do it every year, New Year's resolution, I'm going to lose weight, going to do something. I'm like, right, no, definitely need to do this. And then I saw a TBT ad, and it was one of your old trainers kind of back in the day.
Was
and
that Roscoe?
It was Ross. It was Ross. And
Shout out to
it
Roscoe.
was playing some game, and they were like jumping over the whatever, and I just thought, wow, as well as kind of exercising, that just looks like a fun place to be. And it looked like people it wasn't kind of skinny minis, not youngsters, but Instagram. It just looked like normal people. So I thought, that looks great. So I signed up, and
Was it a 6 week or a 4 week? Do you remember?
I think it was a 6 week. Yes.
Yeah, we dabbled, I think, in the two, but okay. And so then, all right then. So bearing in mind the kind of history with gyms and how we felt, and obviously it's looked different on the adverts that everyone must be sick of seeing because they've been around now for a decade. But you've come to your first session. How did you feel? Why was it different?
After that first session, I was hooked. I was like, I couldn't walk for about a week, and my arms were absolutely killing. But I just thought, this is a place for me. It was a small groups, music was on, the banter was great, and I just thought, yeah, this is what I want to do.
Yeah, so completely different.
Completely different. Yes. I like the guidance, the kind of techers. Your coaches are fab, and they're just fantastic.
It's mad because I forget these things, right? But because I just know you as Marie, knows exactly what she's doing in the gym, absolutely mullers it, loves hitting a bag.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? But then when you take me back to like that first you walking in, I can kind of, I guess remember it or relate to the time. But I always think of you as like this polished gym goer.
Oh my gosh, absolutely not.
I know, but this is what
the coaches now that coach me, they'll disagree.
Nah, I don't think they will. They're probably just egging you on. But it's interesting, that, isn't it? All right then. So you've joined us for your 6 weeks. First session's gone down well.
Yeah.
Energy, atmosphere, banter's been cool. Did it kind of encourage you to do anything outside of the gym?
I'm not very good at doing things outside of the gym. I need to come to the gym and to be pushed. So me trying to do other things as well.
I mean, like lifestyle kind of ways.
Yeah, it just has a knock-on effect to everything, doesn't it? I mean, I've always been a bit of an introvert, a bit of a kind of shy, quieter person. So just coming to the gym, it just gives you that bit of extra confidence, just feeling better. And me feeling better about myself has a knock-on effect to my kids. If I'm feeling better, my kids, I'm being better for my kids as well. So
100%. People talk about that, don't they? Yeah.
Yes, and I also I was, like I said, I was struggling to have my second child, and after 1 month at the gym, I was then pregnant. So,
really?
So it worked that way. Yeah,
so
definitely.
Cool. Okay.
Yeah.
That's so cool, because I remember we went on a walk. Do you remember we went on a walk? And I carried your daughter on my shoulders.
You did. She'd never been a fan of walking.
No. Oh, she did all right, man. She kept me entertained anyway. Okay, yeah. So interesting then. So, okay. And how old's your son now?
He is 6.
Okay.
Yes, bless
Nice.
him. Yeah. So he's now into his weights, and he's got his own kettlebell, and he's got his own boxing gloves.
Yeah. Wicked.
Absolutely, they love it now. Yeah.
Well, you've made it normal. You've just made it something that mummy and daddy do, right? So.
And my little one can do press-ups better than me. You're doing them wrong, Mum. You're doing them wrong. All right.
Well, we'll have to get him here.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Love it.
Okay, cool. So, all right then. So, obviously, such a long period of time. You've not been with us the entire time.
No.
Okay, but for yourself, it's perhaps the start of a different side of training, different side of health. Like how, in terms of, and you had lots of other things going on, but in terms of like the gym and the journey and, what you've utilized it for, I guess, over that time, what's the consistent thing, what's the consistency you've got from it? Like, is it just having that routine? Getting that kind of mental grounding a little bit?
It's just everything. It's just such a positive impact on my life. It's like I don't really I work. I'm just always at home. I'm working. I'm seeing to the kids. I don't really kind of go anywhere on my own. That sounds really sad, but
I think it's a lot of people.
Getting out and coming to the gym, being around like familiar faces. I've now got friends from the gym. So just coming out, doing my own thing. It's just it's just mega, yeah.
As an adult, it's hard, I think, to have a social life, like especially with kids, right?
Absolutely.
I find it difficult. I find it difficult to meet people. I said this on like the first ever episode. I sounded really sad, but it's true, I think.
Yeah.
And so to have that commonality in the gym.
Yeah, and here it's like I'm not a wife, I'm not a mum. I can just come here, smash a few weights, and just feel good. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, good. What's life look like for you now? Where are you up to with your diagnosis? Where
all good, yes.
All
so
good.
Yeah, so it was an aggressive type of cancer. It was stage 3. It was awful, obviously. But now I go for like regular checkups and things now. They use the word cured for the first time a few weeks ago, which is always nice to hear.
Congratulations, mate.
So now it's because one of my cancers was like a kind of estrogen related, so it's all very hormonal. So it's just that side of things now I'm having to deal with. But the cancer's gone, which is obviously the main thing. It's just the early menopause. So
okay. So we've talked about that.
Is really, really helping as well.
Yeah.
And because my bones can become weaker, I'm now all over weights even more than what I were before. Determined not to get to be an old lady.
Yeah, it's the thing. The weights is the thing.
Yeah.
It's 100% the thing. Tell me why somebody gets old. Because we lose muscle, so we lose ability. We can't hold ourselves, we can't catch ourselves if we fall or if we, that's why. There is the mental side to it, of course, which I think with, nutrition, supplementation, what we're consuming, obviously all of those things can be impacted, but ultimately getting old is that we are running out of muscle.
Yeah.
So if we can continue to keep that, I think we're good. So menopause.
Yes.
I mean, talk to me about that. This is really common in the gym. It's something that we as coaches have really had
poor
to...
coaches having to deal with lots of menopausal
not at all,
women.
but it's something that we talk about a lot. You know what I mean? We learn about it a lot because it's something that's really prevalent. It goes on. And we know the huge benefits for weight training specifically, actually. How do you feel it shows up? Does it how does it help? Why does it help?
Well, with the medication and menopause and all the rest of it, my sleep was massively interrupted. So coming to the gym, absolutely smashing it in the gym. You're tired at night, so you tend to then sleep better, and you get a little bit of kind of anxieties and that sort of thing, which again, the gym really helps. It's just every kind of ailment that the menopause kind of gives, the gym helps with it. So it's massive. So
I need to get that on a t-shirt.
Yeah.
I think. No,
it
but
does.
you're right though.
So you stuck with me for a long time because
I hope so.
I ain't going anywhere.
No, but you're right though. I think I sound like a broken record because obviously I'm sitting in the chair being a team, part of the team at the gym. So I can understand why people think he's talking about, but it is, right? Because even the confidence element of in our lives, we were talking before on the podcast episode before about, when you push yourself in the gym, you push yourself out of your comfort zone, you do what you said you were going to do, you get in, you train hard. It definitely improves your confidence because you're doing things you didn't know you could do, that you weren't capable or you thought you might not have been capable of doing. But then in terms of the sleep, because we say that it helps sleep a lot training, but it does actually help sleep a lot because you're tired. You're physically tired. You've got it out, haven't you?
Yeah, absolutely.
And the quality of your sleep is better, which I think impacts your mental health. Because I know for me, I'm not very good when I'm tired. Everything's 10 times worse.
Yeah, isn't it just?
Yeah, it really gets on top of me. So it really is the solution. And, interestingly, the more I study it now, so why I think it's a huge or should be a really high choice for somebody that's potentially experiencing menopause symptoms is what we don't want to do is put your body under too much stress. And stress is in millions of forms, but training in a sense is stress because we're pushing your body out of its normal state. But what we know about, for example, hours of cardio, which I think lots of people do because they're in the comfort zone. They can go running. They've built up to a routine where they're comfortable with it, or they go to the gym and they go on the treadmills like we discussed at the start. It's like, that's my comfort zone. Hours of cardio versus hours. But the actual physiological issue is that this is way too stressful, all of this stuff. Hours of HIIT. You'll have people go to the gym and they get fit, so they find it a bit more comfortable after they've got fit and they're used to it. It's not good for their body. Short elements like what we do at the gym, you'll know that we might do like our finishers or our conditioning elements towards the back end of the session. It is, for your health, the best way you can train.
Yeah.
Lift heavy. You know, people hear that and they'll be like, no, I don't want to lift heavy. I don't want to get big. It's not about that. It's about lifting heavy and getting strong. Dense bones, tendons, ligaments, holding onto that muscle. And then a bit of horrible, I shouldn't say that.
It's
going to really put people off.
We don't like the cardio.
No, we don't like the cardio. But we don't though, do we? We don't like the cardio, and that's fine. But if I said to you, can you do this for 8 minutes at the end of a session, 10 minutes? Yeah, I can do that because it's 8 minutes. And it's the perfect way to train. So for menopause particularly, for us getting older, for longevity, lifting weights is really, I'd say, the only essential thing.
There's no better feeling than feeling strong. Some days when you come out of here and just to feel strong, not big bulky muscles, and not just, there's no better feeling. And then me feeling strong in the gym makes me feel strong at home and all the crap that we have in our daily lives. So
I feel like with in terms of like parenting, I'm a lot more patient, you know, because sometimes I think when I'm stressed with things, I'm either not as present or I'm a little, you know, but when I've been in the gym,
I
feel like I am
makes you a
dad.
nicer person. It makes me a nicer wife, a nicer mum. So 100%.
Yeah, so key. Okay, cool. All right then. So, you know, we touched on how the gym might feel different today or in terms of the reasons why you come and the why you maintain. Will it be something that you prioritize now forever?
Oh gosh, yes. Yeah, 100%. Health is the most important thing to me now. Yeah, 100%.
And how do you propose to prioritize it then? What's your general approach with it? Like, is it a weekly thing?
I will just book in the gym sessions and I try to be as regimented as possible. I'm a creature of habit, so I like a routine. Yes, things come up, and if there's a work thing that I need to cancel it, but then you'll come the next day to make up for it. So I will book in, I do 4 sessions a week, and I have to make sure that I do those 4, and I will prioritise it.
So it goes in the diary, perhaps?
It goes in the diary,
Not necessarily first, but pretty first?
100%, because then my work and everything else falls around it. Health is the most important thing.
Yeah. It's interesting because, you know, I have conversations with people that when I talk to them on the phone about coming to the gym, and one of the biggest things that I hear these days, and I think probably now more than ever actually, is like, well, I don't know if I'd have the time to fit it in.
Yeah, it's like 3 hours a week. You can fit it in.
But the interesting thing, and I think the thing to get people to think about is actually you prioritize it first. And you're not on your own. That is a common theme amongst those that do well within this, what we offer here and the setup, and even in other gyms, right? They put it in first. Yeah. I need to do this first, and then everything else will get done.
Everything else follows because it does. Because I need to feel good. I need to feel confident. I need to be strong and looking after myself. And obviously, I don't want the dreaded cancer to come back. So that has got to be first for me. I mean, I've had friends that go, oh, I can't afford that. That's like a lot. But I'm like, the same friends wouldn't think twice if I had a takeaway and a couple of bottles of wine at a weekend. Yeah. So it's like, well, I'm prioritising my health. Surely that has to come first.
Yeah, and I think, like, again, we talk about feeling the need to or wanting to, and them being totally different, like, you know, things, and motivating you in different ways, right? So if, you know, you feel like I'm having to cut the takeaways out, the things I enjoy, or the bottles of wine that I enjoy, I'm having to cut them out. So right at the beginning, when you're trying to maybe think about how I'm going to afford the gym, how I'm going to make it a part of what I do, you're making these decisions, don't feel good, because you're kind of taking away the things I enjoy. This is now becoming a bit of a negative thing. But actually, the difference is when you start training regularly, it comes from a want.
You don't then want to drink. You don't then want to have the takeaway.
Exactly. So it doesn't feel like you're denying yourself, does it? You're actually celebrating the efforts that you're putting in the gym and making it. And I think it's just this initial hurdle. What would you say to somebody who, you know, understands what you're saying, but isn't quite convinced enough to get started?
Just do it. Just do it. It is life-changing, 100%.
And a small commitment initially.
Yeah, it's literally 3 hours in your week. Just, don't watch a bit of Netflix at night, or don't do whatever. You can always fit it in. Yeah, I was one of those people saying, "Oh, I can't do that. I've not got the time. I'm a busy person." But I think you can. I think everybody can fit it in. Just 1 hour of a night or morning, whenever.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Well, I think people that, when they realise that we're human, then they're in a different mindset.
I think that's it. I think people just think gyms, it's just not, it's not for me. It's the Instagrams, and it's just not, is it?
No. I mean, not for me, mate. I'm the least Instagrammable person you've ever met in your life. Honestly, I absolutely fucking hate doing it. Yeah. I hate it. But it's like a necessary thing. It's like with your business, do you know what I mean? There'll be elements of your business that are necessary. Yeah. And I kind of wish we didn't have to... I wish we didn't have to like get the photos of the gym. I need to do some of the like somebody from my team does she's big on Instagram. She does the kind of like the little videos of herself, and I'm like, I just can't do it. I'm like, honestly, but it's what sells. It's what gets your name out there. We're recording. Yeah. Wicked. Yeah. I think it's not an Instagrammable gym, and just to repeat that because the camera was off, but I'm not an Instagram person, and I'm all over it. And honestly, it does my head in. And I would love to share at this stage that I don't want to have to take photos of the gym, and because that's kind of the ante of what I'm trying to achieve. Really, I want you to come and feel completely comfortable in the space. And obviously, we do ask clients if they don't want to be in shots and videos and things like we ask, and we try our best to make sure it's done. But I was listening to an ebook the other day, or like a book online. I'm not brilliant at books online, but it was The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck. I'd recommend you read it. Okay, really great book. It was recommended to me. But in the opening chapter, or first 15 minutes of the ebook, he basically said about to remove the worry of having to do like the marketing element of what we do in the photo. He said, worry about the bigger picture instead. And I am hugely motivated to inspire as many people as possible to try and get to where you're at in your gym environment, to where I am, to where lots of our clients are. And it's a necessary evil because it's the way that we market, it's the way that we advertise. You need to put it out there.
People need to see that we're just normal people.
Exactly.
It's a normal gym, normal people. Yeah.
And it's unfortunately, it's a necessary evil. It's a good platform to do it on. But we're not an Instagram gym.
Nobody has their phones in the gym either.
No, nobody has their phones in the gym. Nobody's doing selfies and all that. It's about the people in the room and the moment and getting it done. The point about the subtle art of not giving a fuck was and this is actually maybe something that we can relate to people listening who want to go to the gym and are afraid of going to the gym, because again, the point I was making is I get stressed about the little daily things that I have to do to keep the gym, the marketing, the advertising, and so on. And I think the first thing that I took from The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck, the book that I was listening to, was target yourself with a higher reason. And so I can get stressed about the little things. And for somebody looking to start the gym, right, I can get put off by that the way it's making me feel. I don't want to go to the gym. I'm not comfortable with it. It's not my environment. And I'm really strong on that. I don't want to do it, right? But actually, if you task yourself with a much bigger thing, much more important to you, and that's the reason why you shouldn't give a fuck about that little thing there, I think that's a really good message to share. So a bit like me with the gym and having to do the adverts and the videos, and I'm uncomfortable about it. But the bigger thing is actually, do we get to impact people's lives if they know we're here? Yeah. And it's the same with somebody wanting to go to the gym. They don't want to go, they're not comfortable, but the back of their mind, they know they want to do it for their health. Yeah. We've discussed cancer, we've discussed menopause, we've discussed mental health, we've discussed being a better version of yourself for those around you. You've got all of these greater reasons to try and overcome that little thing at the beginning that can feel like a mountain to climb, but that is how to do it, I think, or it's certainly a way to get yourself through the door.
And that's it. You have just got to, because sometimes I don't want to come. Sometimes I'm tired. Sometimes I'm on a really, really stressful, tired day, and I just don't want to come. But you just got to get to the door. That's what I think. If I can just walk in the door, everything else will just follow. Just get to the door. And then we're good. Which again is a really good point.
Is like, not everybody always wants to come to the gym.
No, it's not like we all. I mean, yes, we love it, and yes, it's great, and it has so many positive impacts on my life. But some days I really don't want to come. But then But I think that's just an extra when I feel even better about myself.
Like you've got
on the
over
day
it.
that I didn't want to come and I did come, and then I've never regretted going to the gym. No. I've regretted not going. So always come out feeling better.
I think it's useful to share because I think, again, like as we said at the start of the podcast, like people can just assume we're of a certain way because we go, they love it, they've got it all figured out. I don't feel like that every time.
No,
I love leaving. That's what I love.
Leaving and you feel fantastic. But sometimes when I'm bent over double, feeling a little bit queasy, it's not the best. But
no, I get it totally. Listen, I appreciate you a great deal. Not only for being a part of what we do for so long, but also coming on and sharing what's been happening in your life lately.
No problem.
I hope that somebody watching it that's going through something can feel like there might be some light at the end of the tunnel and maybe inspired to try something like this if they're not already doing it, whether they're local or they're not. Obviously, if they're local, we would love to see them down here. But I appreciate your time.
No problem.
Thank you very much, Marie. Have a lovely day.
You too.
Thank you very much for watching, and I want to say a real big thank you to Marie for coming on and sharing what I can only imagine would have been a very difficult subject and difficult things to talk about. I think she's an absolute trooper. I hope if you've watched or listened to today's episode, it has helped you in some way. If any of it you have found useful or relatable, please feel free to drop a comment or share the episode for me. And again, if you would like any information on how we can help you here, please just click the link in the description and I will be in touch. Thank you very much. See you next time.